Your turn to ban. 5 seconds remaining. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Ten seconds remaining. Your turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I am Sand King. So you say.
Prepare
It's
for
in the
battle.
bag. I shift like the sands.
30 seconds to battle.
Well stated. Go.
The battle begins.
Finally.
ไป
Well and good. Agreed.
You have done a great
Bow to
service.
your liege.
So what if I swagger?
More than right. You are mine
This time.
at last. I go. Yes, indeed. Yes. Of course. The time has come.
Come.
Sand King Comer. Stings, don't it? Rightly so. I am ready.
First blood. Thanks and have fun.
Granted. As I thought.
Take a knee, peasant.
Forward. Onward. To battle. I am ready.
I'm under attack.
Stun. No, my god.
Yes.
Feel death's sting.
Nicely stung. I'll scour your bones. Well and good. Very well.
I'll take your tribute.
So you say. Forward. Yes, indeed. May the desert bear you. Well stated. Stinger. Sand King coming. Rightly so. Agreed.
Two come, take the banjo.
I shift like the sand. Dust to dust. Run if you can.
Weep some more. Alone.
To battle.
Killing spree.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I go. Well stated. Well and good. I'll take that.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Don't it? Of course.
Snuff out!
More right.
Not going anywhere. Don't kill.
Finish it. I am ready. Sand King cometh. So you say.
Killing spree.
It's good to be king.
Dire structures are fortified.
Agreed. Done. My sand is quick.
For the
That's
treasure.
it.
Regeneration.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Good.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Thank you, peasant.
Already moving. I shift my sands. Feel my sting. Rightly so. Already moving.
The lanes are lined with the likes of you.
Where you going? Granted.
I think you're warming up to me.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Ice is done. So you say.
Triple fire.
I shift like the sands. No more. Yes, indeed.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
right. Good.
Can't outrun a wildfire.
Was this?
As sweet. My strength increases. Well and good. Onward. I am ready.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Killing spree. Hello, this is
I
Gabe
thought they
Newell.
warned
Killing
you.
spree Dota 2. Double kill.
Burns, doesn't it?
All mine.
Good. I'll send you down to last dinner.
Dyer's courier has been slain.
Well stated. To battle.
Dominating, I guess. Mega kill. Double kill.
Granted.
The enemy's top tower has fallen. Your bottom tower is under attack.
Another turn of the hourglass. I shift like the sand. Well and good. More and better, Sand King cometh.
Invisibility.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Your
Killing
bottom
spree.
tower is under attack.
Double kill.
Fortunes change.
Send and deliver.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Back lah bro, you still go. Back.
More.
Cannot.
I decree
Your
you
bottom tower is
deceased.
under attack. Dire structures are fortified.
Feed flames.
So you see.
Regeneration.
Well stated. Agreed. Why, I'll take your...
The enemy's bottom tower has been denied.
Of course.
Customer.
Yes, indeed. Again. Yes. At last. Saddle King will come.
Crown me twice. Shame on you.
Bow graze games, don't it? Granted.
Your middle tower is under attack.
As I thought. Yes.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Come
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower has fallen.
Killing spree. Onage.
schemes. Their mistake.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
Welcome to the secret shop.
More than right. Agreed. Forward. Nicely stung. Onward. This ought to keep. So you say. I shift like the sands.
That has no grip on me.
Killing spree. Double kill. A dominating performance. Impossible kill.
Got it. I'll scour.
What are you buying?
Yes, indeed.
No thanks.
Granted. Well and good. I'll save this for later. Good. I am ready. Of course. May the desert more than right.
You cannot reach out there. You must wait for Lina, wait for Lina. Wait for Lina, wait for Wait, first, yeah.
As I thought.
Your top tower is under attack.
The ancestors.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Fatality.
Rightly so. Yes, indeed. Sand swallow you.
Fortune's change.
Dire structures are fortified.
Not yet.
Was that good?
Cover me, I need to walk, cover me.
More fuel for my fire.
The enemy's middle tower has
I don't
fallen.
have sentry, I don't have sentry.
Well stated. Yes. I shift like the sands.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
I shift like the sands. Stinger. Someone slay my enemy. Forward. So you
Your
say
middle tower is under attack.
to battle. Already
Another turn.
done. Of course.
What are you buying?
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
I go.
Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower has fallen. That was unreal. Your middle tower is under attack. The enemy's bottom tower has fallen. The enemy's bottom barracks have fallen. The enemy's bottom barracks have fallen.
Yes.
Your middle tower is under attack. The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Silence, know it.
Your middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Your middle tower has fallen. Dire has been slain.
Feast of famine.
Wait, Shaman. I don't think we can survive. DKB, no.
Take a knee, peasant.
Here again. Onward. Steady. Rightly said. Please, noted. Granted. I am ready.
Invisibility.
Come and SOD, come and SOD.
Good. More than right.
Don't hit the wall, don't hit the wall.
That shit. Rightly so.
Go, no clock.
Onward.
Killing spree.
They got BKB, they got BKB. Back.
I'll take your tribute. To battle.
Just try me.
I sleep. Good.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Ready,
Your middle tower has fallen.
Sand King cometh.
Your middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are
It is not
fortified.
time.
Dire structures are fortified. Your middle tower is under
Viper,
attack.
Viper, guys, no Viper.
Yes, indeed.
My favorite kill is the monster kill.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Well stated.
Look, I am a robot. Yeah, just kidding.
Right.
Double damage.
I go.
Go rush, go rush, go rush.
Roshan has fallen to
Back,
the
back, back. Take the keys, take the keys.
Immortality.
Dominating performance. Double kill.
Respect the dead. You'll have to earn it.
It happened again. Double kill.
Seal you.
Killing spree.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
Take a sword as I
The
swag.
enemy's top barracks has fallen. You have mega creeps. The enemy's middle tower has fallen. The enemy's middle tower has fallen. Radiant victory.
They'll never find you.
I'm just gonna buy that. I'm just gonna buy it.
Watch your
I'll take it.
实际上是有轨迹之物的，是要在二塔开购物做入。
Tomar torres. Rita las torres muy rápido, así que...
Windstrike coming down though, so I mean I'm kind of happy about that because I get to watch him again. Yeah, I feel like Windstrike is a very solid team, but I'm not happy for them because I'm sure they weren't looking to get relegated.
Of course, right? Of course, but really impressive stuff. I mean, even Na'Vi, of course. I think there was the general tweet for the question mark, right?
Ah, yes.
That was a very spicy one indeed, but I think it's a beautiful storyline here for the. Because you know that's kind of what Eastern Europe is really well known for, right? These roster swaps, and that's always the question being asked: is it actually going to work out for these guys, right?
Yep.
Even on the highest level, and it seems like this time, at least this time, for this season for Na'Vi, perhaps it's a no. But
well, we'll see. I mean, the close qualifier is still going, so that's always an option. The Fantastic 5 roster going into the enemy triangle to the typical smoke, very common in this region. We don't see it as much these days, but I feel like this is the roster, or this is the draft where you want to use it, right? Lina Lich, so powerful, level 1. I would say the same with Void Spirit, even though he went for the shield first.
And it move though, because it was a bit of a delayed smoke where they ended up trying to go in through here. It looks like Team Empire scouted that though. They were also playing rather defensively. Of course, with just basically Lion being your best early fighter because he's got a nice AoE stun. You don't really want to fight with anyone else. TA is abysmally she's just not a hero this early on in the game, unfortunately.
No, really.
Worst base attack range in the game out of everyone. It only gets better because of side blades.
Even worse than melees. Well, actually, they made it so it's equal to melees now. They remember that patch. Yeah, so it's now equal to all the melee heroes, but then again, you know, then you lose the melee advantage of not being able to miss high ground, stuff like that, the Quelling Blade, stuff like that. So, I mean, we even see the press kit going for the Quelling Blade, which is honestly not bad. Like, for the gold that it is, 6 extra damage on creeps is short, right? Kind of works for you. I've seen a lot of TAs do this because early on, as you say, you're kind of weak, you can only really last it, so you might as well get some extra damage for last it.
Yeah, plus it becomes more difficult and much more annoying when you're playing against a nice little deny up there, which is what Ladan is getting tipped over. They're missing the stun, so early mind game strats here, of course. It's a best of 3, not a best of 1. If you've watched some tiebreakers yesterday, that was a 3-way tie, of course. Unfortunately, Brame going back to the lower division, but this is going to be best of 3, so there should be no infinite tiebreaker potential here. But yeah, the nice part about here for Askold is he's got himself AoE damage, right, on the Resonant Pulse. That's very, very easy to land, very consistent. Yep. Even though they did slightly reduce his base damage towards the latter half of 7.28, I think most people have like adjusted to that by now. So yeah, the press kid looking for any sort of advantage he can get here in this lane.
I mean, now, once you got the refraction, that becomes difficult for Void Spirit. No damage over time, right? You kind of have to hit the TA to really stop her charges. That's so unlucky for the press kid, 2 misses. And also the pure damage from the side blades, of course, goes through the shield. So if you want to get a kill and he's running away, he has the shield on him, it's not like you're going to have a tough time. A lot of TAs I've seen doing the side blade kills there if you play it a bit too aggressively. So I do find that this lane, as the more it goes, the easier it becomes for the press kid. I don't think it's an easy lane for Void Spirit whatsoever. But of course, TA can't pop off like Void Spirit in the early game. So that's the advantage you get.
Yeah, yeah. So he's doing a great job down bottom, by the way. Normally, Lich is kind of exactly the type of hero you'd want to have as a lane support versus your Centaur types, your Axe types, your Bristlebacks, you know, lots of burst magic damage. I think the issue is everyone just goes, even before Brown Boots, they just immediately go for the Ring of Health, and you just don't get levels fast enough on a position 5 these days. Like, you're kind of expected to give a couple of solo waves to your core unit, right? Especially when it's a Sven or a Dusa, where they just need experience to be able to farm faster. Like, So unfortunately for him, like he's throwing these Frost Blasts early on, but there's just not that much damage versus Petushara, one of the tankiest heroes in the entire game. So he can tank all this magic damage early on, but he's only help.
With most of these tanky offlaners, because it is insane burst damage, but as you can see, it's really not the case against Sandra. He wasn't even conditioned to going for the Bracer here, which is surprising. Right? He just straight up into the Vanguard, like no Hooded Defiance or anything like that.
He just wants the ring.
Yeah, exactly. That's a show, though, of strength against Lich.
That's what it's about, though, because Lich, I mean, you can see, actually, BZZ, he's recognized this. Of course, brilliant player, right? He's played every single position, so he knows what he needs to do. Tons of mangoes, because that's the thing that's going to be limited him. Lich is a very, very mana-intensive hero. He's one of the more mana-intensive supports you could actually play. Very similar to, like, the Maiden, but unlike the Maiden, he doesn't have a passive that gives him a ton of regen, so he's got to spend a lot of money here on consumables. So this is going to hurt BZZ a little bit, but it's going to be quite important to make sure the Centaur doesn't get off to just a completely free start. So I like it. It's a good reaction from BCZ. Askel in trouble, by the way.
I mean, the first shield won't do too much. Askel is being caught here by the Lion. Let's see if Sayu can keep him controlled. The second point of Mana Drain means no Hex. So Askel, in fact, the Presca is just leaving him be. It's like, if you die here, I'm reporting you. Down bottom, Petushara does get caught out. The Frost Shield finally up. It's going to slow him down a fair amount. Rari, physical damage. Can he finish him off? Yes, he will. That's going to be the Frost Blast from BZZ to get the first blood. Get away potentially from the Scary. But it's okay. Worth it. Kill secure.
Yeah, no, totally kill secure. Sven was not going to get that without the Frost. There to counter initiate. Pretty aggressive move out from Empire, trying to get that kill mid. I definitely can see that, you know, if you can get your first blood onto the TA, you're going to have a crazy start. We were also, we didn't stack for the Lion, unfortunately. I thought that's what we were doubling for. But you can see, now there's a full stack of mangoes missing, right? That's what you need to do to get these kills. But the fact you do get first blood, guess what? Means that you're right back in tip-top shape. Mid, Askel.
There's the Aether Remnant. He could be in trouble still, and he's going to die to the creeps in the end. He aggroed them a bit too early. The creeps actually dealt the finishing blow there.
Top now, Supernova is going to be right-clicked down by Smiley Knight. Advanced Core Stick Charge is the impetus. No! It's going to end up getting him killed, and the immediate pause as they do take a disconnect here for the Void Spirit.
It's looking a bit bad there. Actually, sorry, it wasn't the creeps. It was the trap, by the way. The trap residual damage. I was wondering what that was that hit him. But yeah, Empire starting a really strong early game, which is exactly what you want at this team, because, like I said, your tempo is much better than enemy teams. Sven's not going to be very useful. If Void Spirit loses his lane, it makes his ganking in the mid game a bit more awkward, because TA can just match your movements, honestly, especially with the new Dragonlance build that's so popular. You can just play TA. I mean, I wouldn't say faster, right? But you don't depend so much on the 50-minute Blink Dagger Desolator timing. And that allows you to actually mirror the Void Spirit a bit more. And of course, Sven, I mean, you know Sven. He's going to be farming for a while.
Is that we're no longer really conditioned to go for the Echo Saber, which helps you get through the immediate charges of refraction, right? Just that extra little attack. If you can go in there with your team, you get the one stun, the two attacks out, and then you activate that God Strength to actually do some damage, maybe you can get a kill here. But for the most part, we see S and Y for these sustained fights. I think that's going to be a tiny, tiny disadvantage. I don't think it's really going to make that big of a deal, but you never know. I think like a couple of early kills might be possible thanks to that extra proc on the attack. But bot lane so far is going pretty nicely for the Sven. Recognizing what he needs. Ring of Health is now up for the Centaur. He still does need to go for the Vanguard, but you can see he's already queued up the infused raindrops, and that essentially is going to shut down BZZ's game, unfortunately, because it's just too mana intensive after that. He's got the Sage's Mask, decent mana regen now, with a very, very respectable int gain of 4.1 per level on the Lich, but his abilities are just too damn expensive.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the issues with the Lich and why the Lich is just not played very often. I mean, I like the Bazzi. I think it's a good solution, but like you said, it's not enough. I think on this here you kind of need the Arcane Boots, the Bazzi, and then at that point you're like, why am I even playing 5? You know, maybe Lich 4, like M1 Fighting Pandas was a team, and they used to run Lich 4 very often. As like
I do.
Yeah, they used to run like Shadow Blade and go for the talent, the low 25, the automatic Scotty, right? That used to be the case.
Yeah, I think that the biggest issue for Lich, though, is that, you know, his mana cost more or less stayed the same. Sinister Gaze is a really, really powerful spell, especially because it allows him to play versus heroes that, like that you would otherwise want to hex against, right? Because it's instant. It's as fast. You just need to turn and face, and which is the same as a hex, and then you can catch someone, and that's usually enough for your team to follow up and stun him. but he no longer has mana drain in lane, or whatever it used to be called, and that does hurt him a little bit, because you don't really want Sinister Gaze so much in your laning stage, especially against the Centaur. You just want damage.
Yep,
nice
exactly.
rotation from BZZ. So he's a fun hero. He's a fun hero to play.
Yeah, but he's a fun hero more so in the pub. That's why the competitive win rate for this hero is just non-existent. He gets picked only. I think this game is really just the Frost Shield that makes him very valuable. Well, I would honestly say Frost Shield is such a powerful ability, especially when the damage is, again, just physical and from auto attacks. Especially if you have an off layer that is not really a Vanguard builder. But Lich could be in trouble here. We have the Frost Shield used. There's going to be the Frost Nova as well. Not that it matters. The Press Kid will just burst him down.
Death to all betrayers.
Mid lane for a kill, but say you had preempted him there with the rotation. We also got Vanscore out here stealing runes. He appears to be, by the way, going for just more damage on this Enchantress. He's not really feeling too confident. He can play like a mech, you know, sort of smoke ganking or smoked gank tanking kind of Enchantress. So we'll be seeing plenty of damage out from this Ench in the mid game. In fact, we'll see a little bit of that damage now into Ladon. Supernova, though, is here to scare him away. But Vanscore, of course, given a lot of solo XP already to Smiling Knight, who's up to level 6, saving the point in case he needs it for the battle trance. A gank out from the Void Spirit is very likely at this stage, considering how this lane is going. You've already had 2 kills top, favoring the Smiling Knight and Troll Warlord. So we may see a rotation here. 6-3 is still lingering around mid, though. He's going to leave Sven alone down bottom. He is already up to level 6, and he's going to struggle to lane here, you know, pretty shortly, especially now that we've got the Vanguard online for Petushara. As soon as there's boots, I don't really think he wants to be down here anymore, especially if Lion continues to linger down here.
I agree. I feel like now you're just being a free kill for this lane where, I mean, you just need to leave so you can at least find yourself some farm. Otherwise, your lane is going to be... I know, right? It's tough because if you go and go top, then you're denying Supernova his farm. I mean, who's going to be the space creator? It's really just Ascald. So you just
you're right.
Space.
You're right. He's got to wait at least until Supernova's level 6, right? Because then at least Supernova has a bit of playmaking potential with the Void Spirit or Athena at all, right? No, that's a good point. Okay, so instead, Ladon is going to be sent over into the mid lane, where again he's just staying outside of XP range more or less. The Press Kid, having cleared a couple of stacks, is actually going for the Dragonlance. So he's going to be building for more of the carry mid laner that we tend to see now. This build started more or less on the SF is really where I saw it, so it's no surprise that TA, a similar-ish hero, is now starting to build this momentum. Ladon is slowed by the double traps, the DD is inactive, the Remnant is not going to stun for long. A double Earth Spike here is going to set up for a ton of damage as they apply the Frost Shield on over to Ladon. There's going to be Stampede. Depresskit thought about going back, and he thought about it twice, but he's going to think better of it and go ahead and just choose to live with the DD rune and maybe get a little bit of tower damage in top. Smiling Knight just getting a bit aggressive. He's going to be fine.
It's a very odd Stampede usage. I mean, it feels like it was a bit of miscommunication. Petushara's like, no, you can go, you can kill him, and the Presskit didn't want to risk it. I understand the Presskit's choice, though. It's not like you're on your power spike anyway. You're speeding every team because Fantastic Five is making a bit of misplays, you know, playing a bit haphazardly, not really rotating their supports effectively. That's why Empire is leading. But your power spike comes around minute 15, where the TA comes online. And honestly, Troll should have at least one item. He's even going for a fast build here on the team lane.
Do you think it's minute 15 even with Dragonlance?
Yeah, I would say it's around that. I mean, it's fair in time because even if TA comes online alone, you need the Centaur to be also helping out, which Centaur, by the way, is in trouble with Petushara. There's the Host Stomp used for 6-3-3. There's his friend, Centaur Conquer with the War Stomp. BZZ still alive for now, lasted from line, will do the trick as Rari has been slowed down. He does have the God Strength though, so Petushara has to be more careful.
War Stomp ready.
Slow down again, another War Stomp. Host Stomp is available. This combination of Centaurs gets 2 kills in the bottom lane. And that's the punishment that you get for keeping the Sven down there too.
Yeah, Troll's up to, Supernova rather, is up to level 7 now, and he's got himself this ring of health, so we can afford to actually stay in the lane. So Troll might look to rotate away. As actually they are trying to finish up Petushara. That's Ascald. Astral magic damage, so that's potentially a nice turning point here in this early game for Fantastic Five. Jungle, and then probably stacks here in his own triangle. TA looking to do the same now that the Dragonlance is already complete.
build I see actually. I see a lot of teams even skipping Blink Dagger altogether and going Desert into BKB, right? Just for the mobile.
Yeah, I've seen that too. And I think you can because you've got Stampede to play with this game, right?
By the way, on the Dragonlance comment, I saw, by the way, and when I was talking to my much higher MR friends, my Immortal friends that play with the pros, apparently a lot of the mid-agility heroes in general, in the beginning of the patch, people thought, oh, Dragonlance is back to being OP, and they just picked it up on everyone. Like, one of my friends was telling me that, at least in South American servers, they were picking it up on, like, Troll Warlord, they were picking up on Drow Range, well, obviously that's very common. On Dusa even, really early, like, just all the time, because people just wanted to abuse it.
He's in trouble. Rari's not going to be here in time. The Meld Strike will condemn him. And Rari looking to try at least defend this tier 1 tower, but Depresskit, of course, can siege it from a bit farther away than you'd normally expect a TA to do. And the tower will be fortified, but we can't really defend it here, not least of all without a Slardar at least. Rari is going to be able to get out of here. The Earth Spike is going to miss, but they did TP DZZ back in. Doesn't have the ulti yet, though. That should be Vanscore in trouble and killed off by the level 3 Dissemolates. We're going to keep Depresskit off the tower for now.
And Smiley Knight could be in trouble up top as well as Ascold rotates. We have one more Astral Step, wants to chase after him, eats a remnant. No, Stampede's used and he's safe. Still, at the same time, we saw Centaur taking down bottom. It's like I noted in the, or sorry, like how Forecast noted in the wording section. Empire tends to try to take over the enemy triangle more so than they try to take over the enemy jungle, like a lot of tired players play. But they do have one rotational ward in the jungle and also will block a camp to make sure that Sven just has no place to go. And now that I take the tier 1, they usually try to play around the top side of the map, both for Roshan control, but also taking away the safest place for Sven to farm, which is the Ancients.
Sorry to cut you off. Speaking of safe place to farm, BZZ going and pulling the Dire mid-wave. True support player. He pulled him out from the tower over to his Sven instead of just taking the farm, I think, like most supports would. And speaking of most supports, I am shocked to see Ladan off to this poor of a start. I mean, he is poor, Avo. 1,500 gold on a position for Lina. This is a hero that farms exceptionally well. Of course, Rari gets this farm, but they just...
Tower is under attack.
I feel like the Lina's sorry, just don't pick it to lose it, right? And once the troll came out, then that kind of canceled your combo, or not really canceled, but it made your combo not as effective in the lane. The Lina falls off hard because you need to create space for the Slardar, Void Spirit, and Sven early. By that, you just need to die a bunch, cut lanes. You're the only hero that can do that. Lich is okay at doing it, but not the 4 that should be doing it. So it's really just Ladan who has to sacrifice himself constantly for Supernova type of game.
Yeah, but it's incredible because Smiley Knight has just left the entire jungle for Vanscore to get some farm in, who's got some pretty respectable farm. And same for Seiyu, who's almost at the Blink Tag already. 11 in 3 minutes. It's even faster if they do manage to successfully defend the tier 1 tower. It's not a good start though, missing the stun onto Askel, but it does scare him off from going even further aggressively. Rari has got strength in 10 seconds, throwing the stun out here onto Smiley Knight as Depresskit with the Blink Dagger in hand is ready to fight. We'll see if that's going to be enough to dissuade Fantastic Five from fighting, but with God's Strength now coming off cooldown and the Chain Frost ready to go, they may look for it. We've got wards here aggressively scouting both teams that they're both unaware of. 63 currently standing right underneath the Dire ward. Ladan's going to be scouted by this one as well. We at least have the Keen Optic for Ladan, so he can stun and cast his spells from a bit further away. But again, his farm has been pretty limited. And down bottom, Petashara is already sieging a tier 2. It's already on half HP out.
Under attack.
Mike's breaking out. Petashara. Oh, all right. They just burst through Smiley Knight. Couldn't get the battle trance on in time. Jacks onto Askel to be able to dodge this one out. We've already actually used Stampede, and we've even caught Depresskit here into the bashes, the stuns. We don't have Refraction ready to go. Meld wouldn't have done anything here, sitting right underneath the Sentry ward, and the Chain Frost even thrown out just to make sure they can secure the kill. Vanscore now in trouble, but they're not going to bother chasing him too much because really what they want is going to be this tier 1 tower. They TP the Sven on over to use the God's Strength to get a mid-tier 1 tower as well. And we're going to be looking to equalize tower control here. Very, very nice plays out from Fantastic Five.
Structures are
Fantastic Five is still looking for Seiyu. I think Slithering Crush. Oh, no, Seiyu. TP in the right spot. What was odd about that play is I felt that Petashara could have just stayed down bottom, at least one more pressure into the tower and just TP as soon as he sees a TP, right? But instead he went to farm the jungle, they played safer, which understandable if you feel like this is not yet your power strike, or you feel like you still need to secure your early, right? You're not looking to put enough pressure just yet. But considering that you just lost your carry in your mid, at that point, in for a penny, in for a pound, you might as well try to make something out of it.
It's
I mean, what does he have? Maybe he's like just about to get Blink. That's the thing, right? He's got Van Hood, so he is tanky, but after he uses Stampede, he can't really get himself into the fight, right? Especially versus a Slardar, faster than him. Everyone with Sven is faster than you already.
Exactly.
Lina outranges
just
you.
Push tower instead.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think you're making a lot of sense. A bit of a misplay there from Team Empire in the way they decided to take the fight. The TA just kind of getting caught out as well, completely alone, and that's a lot of the advantage early on. You're still quite farmed, or you're still out farming the enemies by a fair margin here with a 3k net worth lead, but most of that I would say is just because Supernova has been really shut down. Really, the offlane from Fantastic 5, I should specify, has been shut down because it's also Ladon.
Yeah, I like that the press kid went for the Blink Dagger this game, though. Even when we said it was not very common, because I feel like bursting that Lich is a big way to just get damage, honestly. If you burst the Lich, your Troll actually has something to do with the fight, because Frost Shield won't be impactful, and TA can just jump him. If you use Frost Shield on the Lich himself, then you've lost that anyways, very similar to how Oracle plays, so I like this idea by the press kid.
Yeah.
Of course, this will delay his spike a bit more, because you need Desolator for damage. Blink Dagger, Dragonlance is just okay for pushing lanes. However, this will synergize well with the Trolls lineup, or Trolls buildup, which is going for Diffusal Blade immediately. We'll now have it in a couple of, honestly, like 30 seconds or so, and then, or he can be able to buy it, and then you'll go for the BKB. And if you get BKB at the same time as Desolator, or more or less, that's when you smoke up, try to destroy Fantastic 5. But Fantastic 5 at that point will have a Sven that can actually join fights, so it's a bit more dangerous.
Yeah, he's even showing up to fights now just to provide that extra stun. He got a little bit of damage in there to be sure, but he was the first one to TP out immediately after they got the kill into the TA. Just having watched that replay, just very surprising to see Smiley Knight play as aggressively as he was there, especially because at that stage, with your TA top, Vanscore top, Petrushar pushing bottom, you had mid lane and your entire jungle still to farm if you wanted to back away and not take the fight there. But he just gets kind of walked up to and bashed by the Slardar, and that sets up for the kill on him. We don't have a save for him this time around. Stampede's not going to do anything for you if you're perma-stunned.
Uses a save, particularly maybe in the mid game, where like Sven can be kited around more. But like you said, once they catch you with this plethora of stuns, each hero on Fantastic 5 carries one. So
exactly.
Yeah, maybe you can get for like later on a save, like a style of Lotus Orb or something like that, maybe in a Glim or something basic. But since Slardar has Cross of Haze, right, not much to reflect with the Lotus besides the Stormhammer.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the area. Yeah,
Force Staff is a little bit like soft countered by Sinister Gaze because it turns you around. Same thing with Aid the Remnant. It might not be the perfect thing you want. Supernova may be in some trouble here though. BZZ is here with the Chain Frost trying to turn you around. He's got a couple of creeps nearby. Line Finger's not enough damage, but that double edge will put him down. Petrushar not slow to fit here by the Chain Frost, but he's gonna go ahead and respect old man BZZ and go back to just farming the wave.
No one he sees BZZ turning around, he's like, okay, there's someone behind him, right? I'll farm the wave, but like I'm not gonna chase him down because he's trying to bait me, and it's pretty obvious. Well done by Petrushar, at least that experience coming into play.
By the way, Rari did go back for the Echo Saber again, so kind of bucking the trend a little bit, because for the most part, towards the start of the patch, it was definitely Echo Saber, Mask of Madness, Echo Saber, but very quickly everyone started going Mask of Madness, S and Y, so. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. I agree. I think it's a more mid-game oriented build when you don't want to build a full SNY, which is a bit more, right? This is a bit faster. You don't know exactly like how Troll and TA is building. You see Troll building the Diffusal Blade or Yasha because you only saw one blade of Alacrity, and you think, all right, Troll's gonna be active soon. I need to be able to fight with my team. I think this is a good idea to just get damage out. Your team has good catch already, so all you really need to bring with the Sven is damage.
Diffusal first item here for the Smiley Knight hero. Seems like people just really enjoy building a lot of Agi items, especially on their cores. The stats on Agi items are amazing. And of course, do you remember when when Dragonlance got added and it was so OP that Meepos would just build like 6 Dragonlances?
Yeah. No, it's just too good to get added like Diffusal. Diffusal Blade, Mage Slayer I put in the same category, just is honestly subpar compared to Diffusal Blade.
Yeah, it's so expensive, that's the thing.
And for the stats that are pretty similar to Diffusal Blade, honestly. But it's so cheap for an item that gives you so much agility and so much... It's not a versatile item in the sense that it is really just an offensive item, purely. But on heroes like Troll, for example, it's exactly what you need. We've seen Ursa going for Diffusal Blade as well, and it's just the fact that these stats are so slot efficient and also honestly kind of cheap. So it's a great item in that sense.
Real quick, we're smoking into a couple of Blink Daggers. Blink Dagger, Deso completed on the Prescott. Blink Dagger finished up as well here for Supernova, and Blink Dagger on Lion. pardon me, again, an 18-minute Blink Dagger for Seiyu. Again, this guy only has 15 CS. He just gets Blink so damn early in his game. Very, very impressive. Love to see it.
Particularly on the Lion. He loves that Blink Dagger on
Yes.
Lion. Like some Lions we have seen in the later days, going for like, oh, maybe I'll go Ether Lens for like a super Earth Spike. But Seiyu was like, nah, I'm playing the old Chinese way of Lion, the FY build up. I rush Blink and I stun FY. It's funny because FY is no longer building that way.
They'll be able to sneak this Roche. Fantastic 5 have guessed down bottom, which is not a bad guess. Because normally we'd expect at least Petashara to be farming at this stage of the game. So they're completely caught unawares about this Roshan, and in fact they might just be able to get Rari. They don't know about this duo of Blinks, but Rari, having some vision, is going to go ahead and play it safely and back away. He doesn't really want to get this farm Stampede. There goes Petashara, the Blink in, counter initiation super. But Rari falling quickly. There's going to be the Earth Spike Lion Finger to finish him off. Then it's going to be Roche plus a carry. They even stacked the camp at the same time. They'll farm his jungle, take his life, and steal his creep all at once, Avo. Big win for Empire.
Punch him in the face and spit on him. That was incredible. But that was all Rari's fault, to be honest. That was so greedy, trying to go for the creep there towards the end. You just saw the enemy team take Roshan. They have a Centaur. They're not particularly a slow team. They have a Centaur, though. Supernova doesn't initiate against him. BTZ has the Ghost after the kill spawning Night there. Askel going in with a little gang squad here, enjoying the dog's damage as well. But they will be destroying Supernova in the river. In exchange for potentially Van Score's next target for them.
No, they're going to save him.
Barely surviving.
Wow.
And Petashara instead looking for the counter kills.
Goes up in 2 seconds. He just needs to dodge him. Tough task. Tough task.
Yeah, so now the issue with Empire, or the issue with Troll build, we just talk about the stats, right? If you go for the Physical Blade, cheap stats, very good, but not versatile, not only offensive. If you went for SNY, you'd have the defensive capabilities that might give you more chances against the Lina Void Spirit combo. So your positioning has to be a bit more careful than usual. You have to always go with your team, and you can't afford to go and solo push a tower like that.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's got no defensive items yet. He's now going for the BKB, like you're saying, but we don't have any saves for him. The saves, quote unquote, this game are the fact that his team can get to him pretty quickly, right? You've got Blink Dagger on 3 of your cores, and you've got MP to save you if you're in a pinch. But if you're all alone and your team is fighting elsewhere, you know, if you're split like that, like we saw top lane earlier for the Troll's first death, it's not going to go very nicely for you here. Because you're just not going to be tanky enough. No lifesteal and no Ash community. Oh, Smiley Knight now going to go back into that Black King bar. Thought it'd be a decent Ags game, but I think it's a very situational item, and he prefers the stats. So Defusal instead.
Honestly, it also depends a bit on the player. Smiley Knight is a very traditional forward-1 kind of carry. He's very square in his thinking. Maybe he just doesn't want to play him. That's fine. First line low into the doesn't really matter. Double damage into Preskin. You only need a second there.
That was great. That was a really, really nice job. Saying immediately make the play because he knows his team's going to follow up like that.
Look at TA's project. Now with Growpo and Dragonlance, it's clear the game was never coded for TA to have this much range. You can tell by the fact that the projectile might be the slowest thing I've ever seen.
What do you mean? Just because the creep can outrun it doesn't mean it doesn't hit hard.
Yeah, and the bottom lane, Smiley Knight yet again alone. Not active in battle trends because that's no time. Just perma-stun.
He hasn't gotten it off once this game.
No. An issue with Petashara. Okay, this might be a bit too far. You don't have the Stampede. Petashara being really confident. Nice Earth Spikes on the spend. Chain Frost between the creeps bouncing. We're hoping to hit Petashara at least once. There's the finger of death though. Canceling Warrior needs the BKB. Go for the Preskin. He even needs the Laguna Blade, but the Preskin keeps on fighting. Acknowledging his strength at the ages. Sayu is going to be falling the back. Perhaps not. With a host up. Saving his life. Preskin finishing off BZZ. He's still not dead. They do kill Sayu, and they're actually trying to break this fight apart by going for Petashara. He needs some help for the press kid. They finally taking away the Aegis. The impetus at least killing off Supernova. The host up stopping Askel as well. Tries to get away with the Simulate. Can he do so? Etherman actually stopped by the creep. And Petashara, Blink Dagger available. Not enough mana for the Hoof Stomp though, even with a magic stick. He wants to chase after Askel, but knows this is futile. Even the press kid is chasing after him. One last to Simulate, trying to get the kill on Petashara, maybe being a bit cheeky here, Askel. Can he get punished? Yes, he will. That was all your mobility. Last Yule Center. You got the Simulate. Oh, perhaps. Perhaps Askel is too good for this game, and
they don't see him. They don't see him with no. They don't see him with that trap. He's away. He's off and away. They did see the particles of the step.
The press kid.
The press kid. He's missed him.
He's so close.
Oh,
he's laying traps all over the place. Askel. The sentry to give vision.
So much space right now. He has another Yules and a big wand right now. 20 charges.
They guessed it correctly. They must know now where he is. Haskell!
This is so much
TP in
base.
3 seconds! He actually might be able to make it out of here, Richie! Oh,
He's out.
Wow, he does not deserve to live there. He got away with literal murder.
That's amazing. That man lived for way too long in that fight, and that's all just because of fancy footwork. He buys so much time for the rest of his team. Smiley Knight is farming it immediately after he respawns, but so is the Sven the entire time. Rari was able to at least get rid of that first life after they made the jump onto him. Pretty split fight. I cannot believe. I mean, that's got to feel pretty good. That's got to feel pretty amazing right there. Getting the Yule Scepter just before the Hoof Stomp came in especially was so clutch in that fight. As we'll see here very briefly. I can't believe that though. They just miss him like 2 or 3 times here. Especially this moment. Oh, we're fighting though, and that's actually a big. It's just fan score. It's not that big of a target. He got the D ward. Supernova though.
Even his attacking Supernova like, what? You want to fight me? You want to fight me?
Askel with an Invisor into the river and Ladon waiting in the pit, but there's the trap. The stun's going to connect. Petishar, plenty of damage, and the TA attacks from downtown are going to go ahead and kill him.
TA turning into sniper little by little. Plus 570 range. It's absurd.
Pretty nice.
She actually has, in the end, what, over 700 range.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed. 730. Right.
Ridiculous, honestly. I wonder if she's going to keep the growth bow just for that, because honestly, the range.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad either. It does buff your team. Of course, you don't carry too much magic damage except for the trap, but everything else is not bad whatsoever here. A little bit more for your Lion, of course, on the finger, buffing that by a 10% feels pretty nice. Buffing double edge as well is pretty decent, you know, so I could see a couple of good points for it. Okay, so now we've got Smiley Knight up his BKB, but again, this is not going to save him if he continues to just be perma-stunned into his death, because we've got really great ways of achieving that this game, hence his 2 deaths. Okay, EZZ. Yeah, he's dead. Can't get off the Ghost Scepter in time. He will be killed off.
I don't think he would have even survived with that, to be fair.
Probably not.
I trolled now. Smiley Knight's like, guys, I've done it a couple of times. Maybe SNY.
Yeah.
He's quite low on net worth. You're playing around Depresski, which is fine, but Troll needs to come. I did talk about dual cores, and now you can be more of a sacrificial core. Sure, well, there's sacrificial core, and then there's turning into a support, which is pretty much at this point what Smiley Knight, because of all of his deaths. He needs to start playing with his team much more.
Yeah. We've also, by the way, gone for the TA Shard, which is going to give you that minimum 1.5 to 3.5 second silence on your TA traps. Very nice to have here versus Void Spirit. Does have Yule Scepter, of course, for a bit of counterplay here, and he's actually going for the Shard on the faces, or on the Void Spirit, sorry, which I do love. It's I think really quite a nice Shard, especially for the play style he's playing here, which is just being really annoying, giving your team a lot of vision to allow you to identify the right kind of targets and go in. So really like how Ascult is playing this game here on the Void Spirit. I think he's really stepped it up here. No pun intended.
I like to point out that the Shard also gives you a little bit of an advantage here in terms of the vision as well. So if he wants to do this in the trees again, not going to happen. So even double advantage in that sense. Good Ghost Scepter. Still think he still kill PCC though. Maybe still waste time. Now the Stampede, actually he's not going to waste anything, but the Shard is in for it. What to do with Dawn next? Can they burst him down with a Hex? They'll try. Certainly finally can get Melotrans on. It's a possibility. Smiley Knight not dead. He feels like what fighting feels like here. Smiley Knight so happy.
Whoa,
but unfortunately can't get close to anybody. A fantastic fight will just ignore him. He was finally free.
Roshan has respawned, so they can make a play for that now. They did get 2 buyback up from the Fantastic 5 supports. We're going to recapture that outpost. We still have a great ward as well in the dire triangle to give you some vision. So it does feel a bit difficult right now. Team Empire, they're on the prowl though. They're still looking for a kill even without a Lion. Okay, Blink Dagger away, of course. Even if you're silenced, you don't take damage from the Resonant Pulse thanks to Refraction, and they will head into Roche. By the way, the Meld Dispels coming in handy here, of course, for whoever Lich ends up cross-shielding. So that's a big play. That's a big
What's the big Shard too? Is that going to be a Rampage? I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe. Yeah.
They give it to him. Again, someone asked you already, so we'll explain what the Shard does. If you're in the range form and you activate this, you get a bit of an attack speed boost. If you're in the melee form, you get a stab resistance.
Yes, for your entire team. It's a little bit like the old Battle Trance. Yeah.
It's kind of a useful shard. Particularly, it's one of the shards that most pros value when it comes to Roshan's, because you never really want to deviate from the troll to get it. When it comes to Roshan, it's just a huge buff for your team, so it's like giving it to a support essentially, to a degree. And the pushing power is also great for closing out the game. Supernova.
What's going on up here?
Yeah, he's been silenced, but I don't know if Pitushar wants to just chase this too hard. He seems more interested in pushing the lane and creating space than killing. So, oh, Supernova, oh, you cheeky bastard. Look at that. What are you doing? Pitushar has been waiting for him. There's a stomp. Double edge on top of that. And we still have the Lotus Orb. He needs to fight this and dispel the Girl's Haze.
It's got blink in a second. Oh, it got cancelled.
Wants to get a flatfish here. Supernova, yes. You'll stop him. One last double edge. Pitushar will finish him off. In the bottom lane, we have the same fight. This time, Smiling Knight gets the off directly to the Sven. But Rari tanking this thanks to the Frost Shield, helping him out so much. Smiling had no passion, so can't really stop him. Rari, that BKB will not last long enough. The trap catches up to him and he dies. With the Rampage now used on Smiling Knight, that's going to help him survive this a bit. And they can't kill off Asgold, but at least they'll get the enemy carry. Rari falls together with BCC. Time for the tower to die as well.
Yeah, that was pretty costly there from Supernova. It turned into a pretty nice play, but going back for the creep wave to buy a little bit more time and ended up doing a lot more harm than good, unfortunately. It's a dieback on both of your supports as well for Fantastic Five, the dieback penalty applied. So they're not even back to be able to, like, you know, try and clear creep waves because they are your long-range wave clear. That's something that Fantastic Five actually has a huge advantage in this game that they're completely losing out on, is you can clear creep waves super easily with both of your supports, and you've lost that advantage, so goodbye to your bottom lane of barracks. Big loss here.
Mid as well, honestly. You push so quickly with a troll and a TA, especially now with the Ramp. I mean, Rampage not available for 30 seconds, so never mind. Still, Fervor will do the trick here, as we can see. Even at Solo Crest on Van Score support, of course, helps this pushing high a lot. They could even stay for the third Rex. I think that's a bit too greedy, though.
I think it is. I think it is. They're probably going to go in and back up. I think they definitely have to respect this Sven. They still have a little bit left of this Aegis as well, as it will be reclaimed in 3.5 minutes. So, wait, sorry, make that 2.5 minutes. Apologies. So they've got some time. We've got now Basher on our Troll Warlord, so we can be fighting a little bit more.
Nice. That's going to help him a lot against the Sven. He's got him one battle trance off the Sven. That was enough, right? If it wasn't for the Frost Shield, killed the Sven relatively.
Yeah, and it's just a really nice play. Another great Earth Spike, by the way, out from Seiyu. The two-man stun really setting that the whole shebang up. And even with the Shard, unfortunately, they still are able to catch up to the Void Spirit relatively easily. Already Fantastic Five needing to defend high ground. This is something they can do pretty nicely. Again, they've got really great supports, and even their mid laner is fantastic with his wave clear from long range. And you've got a lot of counter initiation here. So Team Empire, they got to have a clean high ground siege here. A little cheeky stun there from Supernova. He's the Solar Crest builder. Oh my goodness, that damage on a Supernova from the Meld Strike. Or sorry, just the Psyblade spill was insane.
The fact that he can actually hit the tower from outside range.
I mean, it's a TA.
It's so stupid.
What's your base attack range? Like 60 or something?
160.
Yeah, it's awful.
It's melee range, essentially.
Void Spirit has a higher attack range than you, naturally. Of course, he doesn't.
Oh, sure.
He doesn't benefit from Dragon Lance, does he?
Right, because a lot of melee heroes actually, the newer melee heroes like Monkey King, Void Spirit does have.
Yeah, Mars.
Look at that, the Prescott just took the tower, didn't even have to see it.
Trap vision. He's like better than Sniper at CG, and he's like, yeah, well, you know, shrapnel, it lasts a long time and you can't remove it, but it's got a really long cooldown. Traps, very short, 5 seconds.
Exactly.
Every 5 seconds, I throw 3 auto attacks at your buildings, and there's nothing you can do about it. What are you gonna do? Kill me?
And whenever the tear ups are done, right, the Enchantress comes by, it's like, hey, I have a creep, and then just throw the creep at the tower, get more vision. That's insane.
Very,
we have
nice.
Solar Crest on Starter, so interesting.
Yeah, I mean, someone had to build it, right? Both supports need to have, like, survivability items, because they're honestly super important here. Lina going back for the Ghost Scepter, because this is how they've been able to get kills. It's thanks to the supports, right? You need to have these follow-ups done. Supernova, he doesn't have BKB. He's tanky with Hooded Defiance and plenty of armor, but it's not really that much versus the pure damage of the TA and all the minus armor that she has, so it's got to be on your supports here. But even not, like, the Psyblade spill range is starting to get really concerning.
Yeah, honestly, it's absurd. What do you do against the Prescott? How do you even catch up to him with a Stampede to save him? Even the Enchantress now with actual some save, Glimmer Cape and Solar Crest, especially since TA can dispel the Course of Haze. Glimmer Cape is a genuine save on her.
Yeah.
Oh, she can dispel dust if you have even carrying that. So you have to essentially sentry her to kill her, and that's still difficult against Limmerkip. Oh no. Vanscore's having a 1v1 against a Sven courier. Look at him running away. Vanscore's like, I kill creeps, or I enchant them. And I've chosen you are gonna die, but unfortunately the courier's too fast.
Yeah, so by the way, just because I see some people bringing it up, like, you know, you cannot dispel Halberd, of course, with anything. By the way, they're gonna go and murder Vanscore.
Vanscore. Oh no. Oh no, Vanscore. Limmerkip ultimates immediately. I mean, he's taking a fair amount.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, no way. No
He's
way
gonna live?
Vanscore will live. The Stampede.
Are coming to the outpost?
They're actually gonna go initiate. They're going for the slumber. I think Supernova's been destroyed. The press kid also going for BZZ. Ghost Scepter available, so you have the
full
Hex,
HP.
though.
Full HP, like nothing even happened. He nearly got up with the side blade skill. There he is, on the creep. Not bad. They also, yeah, oh my goodness. There's a Abyssal Blade now for Smiling Knight delivered in the middle of the fight. And they're already up to the high ground here. Neither of these guys will support, and they even got Rari here with the Hex. They have the follow-up stun is there. Oh, beautiful. He's dead immediately. Couldn't even activate the BKB, and that's GG, well played. Wow. What a way to end the game there.
Dire victory.